All right, Sagittarius, this is going to be your new moon message for the Aries new moon. Let's get into it. I'm starting with the Inner Child Oracle deck. Just because with Chiron and Aries, Chiron conjunct the new moon in Aries, I do feel that healing and inner child healing is going to be a major theme, especially as it pertains to like self-actualization. So the first card you got, this card is beautiful. And it says, let it come forth. Repressed emotions can subconsciously fuel many of our behaviors and interactions with the world, and so it is good to explore these when we can. Find a place that feels safe and begin asking yourself if there is anything that needs to be spoken aloud and released. Observe what comes forth without judgment. This immediately made me think of when people go to like a mountain and scream, or when like the subway passes by and people are like screaming. Well, that wasn't a show I watched. But you know, things like that, like finding your, I actually just said something similar to Scorpio about like finding a sacred place in nature where they can go and retreat. And that's what it feels like for you. But what I'm channeling for you guys, Sagittarius, is that you could feel kind of like not claustrophobic completely, but like you need space, like you need privacy, like you maybe have been around too many people, or you just haven't been able to get the space that you need as of recently. And so some of you might actually be inspired to like go away. It could be like a nature retreat. It could even be like a spiritual retreat or something. If some of you guys have been thinking about something like that, that could be a confirmation, because I feel like this would then help you, like say it's like a meditation retreat or something. I feel like that could help you unlock these repressed emotions and work through whatever it is that you're feeling. But it feels like you guys need that space. Like when you're too busy, which a lot of people have been getting messages like this, like of needing to slow down, to understand where they need to execute. I had a boss that always used to say, slow down to speed up, because, you know, efficiency comes with being able to be discerning. And so if you're just impulsively running into something or trying to take care of something, then half the time it's not really sustainable, it doesn't always work out, etc. And so slow down to speed up, I feel, is a big theme with like all of these Aries transits, especially this new moon in Aries, and Saturn in Aries and things like that. So with these repressed emotions, it feels like rather than just trying to, again, like push them down or ignore them because they are saying they're repressed, you need to let them out. You need to find an outlet for them. So if it is just screaming, I was telling Taurus, I believe, like somatic therapy and like healing. So looking into that, like the tapping of the chest and the jumping and the, you know, like different things, movement, dance. It can be different types of dance, like tap dancing, for instance. Like you could find that something like that, belly dancing, you know, I'm thinking of different things, but they could help you to release a certain energy that you need to release. It could be music as well for some of you. Like I'm hearing like through like music or movement. So it could be like drumming or again song bowls or something like that, but it feels like there's a need to release an energy, or even become more attuned to an energy, like embrace and get comfortable with an energy, not even just releasing it, but like transmuting it and finding a way to work with it, by embracing it, but letting it come up and out first so that you can figure out what to do with it and what to make of it. And so if it is just like dancing and screaming and crying and jumping and whatever it is that you need to do, then do it. If it is like breaking something or running and jumping and screaming like at the top of a mountaintop or whatever it is, like it feels like you also need to release that shame and being one with your body and really embracing what it is that your body needs. And so yeah, I'm seeing some of you guys could like join, like say it is a yoga group, or say it is like a run club, or say it is something like that, a dance group or a dance club. Like I think of like pole dancing as well, or like the aerial work with the ribbons and the ropes or whatever, not the ropes, but like, you know what I'm talking about. you guys could want to get into something like that, because, or revisit something like that. I actually, like, I'm thinking of Scorpio for some reason. So some of you guys might have a Scorpio placement because they just got a revisit card. So this could be something you actually have like done or tried before and it worked, but you weren't consistent with it. I was definitely saying that to them as well. So let it come forth, let it come out of you. It's like you're repressing something, you're holding back on something. It could even be like singing in the shower. But that's why I said I feel like you guys are like, you could feel like you don't have enough privacy to embrace these things, like that maybe you are afraid of like someone overhearing you or seeing you and judging you, or you just not being able to be as free as you want to be. And so that's why some of you guys also need to like find that privacy or that space, you know, just to connect with yourself. It could be getting your own studio or like booking a studio. It could be getting your own like office space or studio space. It could be a lot of different things, you know what I mean? Like doing something, planning to do things when people aren't home, doing it in the backyard. You know, there's a lot of different options. Like I said, just going to like a park or somewhere in nature, going to a beach or like early in the morning. It feels like there's a need for you to find your space and like find somewhere or even an outlet that's going to, a safe space that's going to let you like get these things out, you know what I mean? Because it does feel like you guys need a release. It feels like you've been repressing something and holding it back on some form of expression as well. I'm hearing like throat chakra energy, so it could even be about something that needs to be like said or expressed, a talent, a gift. It could even be pain, you know. It could even be something that like you want to confront, but you have been holding that back as well. So there may be a need to find room to let yourself feel those things, you know, so that you can process them. But let's do the angel number oracle to get some clarity. This is again for Sagittarius. Oh, snap. You got release and reshape. Let's try to just get one card, but two keep coming out from this deck. Release and reshape. I can't think of who else got this. Another sign got this. I think it was like Leo maybe, or another fire sign. Anywho, something is definitely ending within you. That's what this feels like more so. Your perception of things, you know, your mindset, something's changing. And it's so that you can, or because you have started to release something. And so the more that you let this energy come forth and come out of you, you could see this big transformation happen in your life in terms of your own perception of yourself, in terms of your, it could even be like your life path and your goals and what you're achieving. You have this 525 reshape card. And so it does feel like you are transforming through this release, or your life is being reshaped in front of your eyes. Some relationships could change because, like I said, I was sensing you guys might need to confront something or address something. And so it feels like, even if it is just a form of expression, it's not like you going and having to confront a person, but if it's something within yourself where you've been like clipping your own wings or holding back, or, you know, not leaning into a talent that you have or an interest you have, not sharing your, how much you know about a topic, you know, it could be something like that. Once you start to release that, and once you start to let these ideas, let these emotions, let these feelings come forth, it's going to completely reshape your life. It could cause people to see you differently in a positive way, but also in a negative way. So that is something you want to keep in mind as well. With this 999, it does make me think of like death and rebirth and transformation, in that sense, that a cycle would be ending in your life, a cycle of how you resonate, how you show up, how you assert yourself with the let it come forth, you know, being more direct, being more confident. I see that in your future, and I see that that is what is trying to come out of you right now. You know, it feels like, with me saying the throat chakra energy and all of that, it feels like you do want to be more like assertive or dominant, or just more expressive, you know, but you have to not hold back, and you have to allow these changes to take place and not worry about like what it's gonna look like, or who's gonna, like, how people will feel about it, you know what I mean? I encourage you to really embrace this energy and do you, you know, embody it, be you, don't be afraid of what other people have to say about it, for real. What else can we expect? Okay. Taurus, I have. Okay. So again, this does feel like it's about what you have to offer. Um, what like natural gifts that you have as well. I kept talking in the Chiron video. I was talking about once Chiron moves into Taurus, and this could actually be something that you're being prepared for. Maybe you guys have Chiron in Taurus or a Taurus placement or something like that. But it does feel like this is about, or like I was saying, natural resources. I kept mentioning that. And so it does feel like some natural gift you have, something you are supposed to share with the world or offer to the world, or something you're just supposed to embrace. The way that this bull seems very, I don't know if you guys can fully see it, but they seem like they're charging. And so it does feel like also being like more aggressive about something, or it doesn't even have to be aggressive, but with this let it come forth, like it does feel like some kind of passion or, energy that needs to come up and outward. And so, with even the bull representation of Taurus, it makes me think of like persistence, which I was telling Leo. I think earlier I was like, was Leo getting this card? I can't remember, but I don't think it was them actually, but I was definitely telling Leo to be persistent. And so that feels super important for you guys, especially if there's something you've been wanting to say, wanting to do, wanting to express, but maybe you still haven't found the proper outlet or found like the confidence to say it or do it. But if it's still on your heart and it's still like you're something you feel called to do, you're also being called to like be stubborn about it, be persistent about it, find a way, to make that happen. Like I said, even if you don't feel like you have the space or the what's that called, like privacy to experiment and to figure it out, there is a need to be like resourceful, like you will figure it out. There are other options, but you have to like release again your mentality and be willing to try new things with this like reshape. It really does feel like it's about reshaping your life. And this is also going to bring more abundance into your life with the I have. It's also going to make you feel more confident about what you are willing, like able to obtain, what you can create for yourself. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's that transition from Chiron and Aries to Chiron and Taurus, giving us that conviction and that confidence to say, I can do these things for myself. I can be, self-sufficient in this terms of like making my own money, starting my own business, making my own food, creating my own resources and reserves so that I can have, you know what I mean? With this Taurus, I have card. So you don't feel like scarcity or like you're lacking in any way. But it does feel like you have to start being more honest with yourself, with others, more expressive, let out any of these feelings that you're having, any of these like things that you're inspired to say, do, express, share with the world. It is time. All right, Sagittarius, I think that is it now. So I'm going to leave it there and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.